Down the Road Show is a product of Murdoch Worldwide Entertainment. This is Down the Road Show. This is entertainment, all up in your face.
Good afternoon. My name is Vic Mignogna. I'm a voice actor for a lot of animated series and video games, but not today. Today, I am one of many of you. When I was a little boy, I fell in love. I can't believe I just did that. I fell in love with a show that inspired me in ways I could never have imagined. And so this is a special privilege, a privilege of my life to make this introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm Phoenix Comicon welcome to the man that Gene Roddenberry called the conscience of Star Trek. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Leonard Nimoy.
It's a little difficult with a crowd this size to have you asking questions verbally, so I'm going to take them mentally, okay? Somebody's wondering about, somebody's asking, is it true that William Shatner tried to drown you when you were making Star Trek 4? He is competitive. I don't know. You have to decide for yourself. What did I think of? What did I think of Anna Torv's imitation of me in Oh, she was very good. She was very good, yeah. Yeah. Am I doing a voice in the new Transformers film? Yes, I am. The voice of Sentinel Prime. And what's the status of the next Star Trek movie? I believe they'll start filming sometime later this year. And let's take one more. Oh, somebody's asking about Bruno Mars. Have you seen him? Yeah. You like the video? Yeah. There's a I did a Bruno Mars video. You're right, yeah. And it's out. You can check it out on YouTube, yeah. Check it out on YouTube. I had a lot of, yeah. He's an interesting talent. Okay, so, you know, my parents came to the United States about 100 years ago as immigrants. They arrived in Boston. They were aliens and they became citizens, and I was born in Boston a citizen. I went to Hollywood and I became an alien. And, Star Trek went on the air, can you believe it, in 1966. 1966, 45 years ago. And I wasn't really prepared for it. I didn't know how to prepare for it. I had been acting in films and television for about 15 years, but I had never had a character that had the impact that Spock was going to have on an audience. I had no idea what to anticipate. I hadn't even bothered to change my telephone number. My phone number was in the Los Angeles telephone directory. You could call me if you want. It took a little getting used to. There were fans waiting outside the studio gate at the end of the day, waiting to follow you home and rip the shrubbery off, leaves off your shrubbery. And this came from Leonard Nimoy's house, this piece of leaf. Yeah. Can you prove it? No, but I was there. I saw him go in, it was from his house, yeah. So it got a little crazy, and I had to be snuck in and out of restaurants and theaters and so forth. So I had an invitation to go. Some of you probably heard me tell the story before, but bear with me. I had an invitation to go to speak at a college in Billings, Montana. And were you there? A long time ago. Anyway, I decided to go because I thought it would be peaceful, get away from Hollywood, and I went to Billings, Montana to speak at this college. I ran to the airport. They drove me to a local motel, and I was in the room 5 minutes unpacking when the phone rang. I couldn't imagine who could be calling me. What are you doing?
15 minutes ahead.
Sneak right in on it. So the phone rang and I picked it up and answered it. Hello. And a young female voice said, "Hi, is this Mr. Nimoy?" And I said, "Yes, it is." Oh my God, oh, I can't believe it. Oh, wow, oh yeah, hi. She said, "With such big Star Trek fans." I said, "Who are you?" She said, "My name is Sally." I said, "Where are you calling me from?" She said, "St. Louis." "How did you find me?" She said, "I heard you're going to be speaking at Billings, and I called all the hotels and motels. There's only 3. Sally, thank you very much. I appreciate the call. There's some people waiting for me, and I've got to go now. So goodbye, and keep watching the show. And thank you very much. I finished packing. I was heading for the door. Not 3 minutes later, the phone rang again. I picked it up. Another female went, "Oh, hi, is this Mr. Nimoy?" "Yes." "Oh, wow, I got him. I got him on the phone. I got him." "Who are you?" "My name is Mary." "Mary, where are you calling me from?" She said, "Denver." "Mary, how did you find me?" She said, "My friend Sally called me from St. Louis." I grew up in Boston in a tenement neighborhood, and this thing is working. Yeah, that's the front of the building where I grew up, and the lady on the left. No, don't do that. The lady on the left is my grandmother, and I lived in that building for the first 18 years of my life. And these were some of the guys I used to hang around with on the corner. You had to have a white shirt to be in this gang. That's me on the far left. I was lucky to grow up in Boston. It was a great city. Lots of academia and lots of museums and a lot of art, theaters and music and what have you. And very close to where I lived, about 2 blocks away, there was what we call a settlement house. 5-story brick building with all kinds of classes, designed for immigrants. It was built in the 1910, 15, 20s. Immigrant people could go to learn various things they needed to learn, including English classes, because most of the immigrants spoke Italian or Yiddish or various foreign languages. And they had a theater. They had a sports program and a science program, but they also had a beautiful little theater. And I first stepped out on that stage when I was 8 years old, and I'm in production of Hansel and Gretel, and I played Hansel. And this theater had a beautiful embroidered curtain, and it was a forest scene. And at the bottom, in very beautiful Gothic letters, it said, "Act well your part, there all honor lies." And I took that very seriously. I thought, hey, that's very important to do an honorable job in the part that you play. So it made an impression on me, and I continued to do children's theater there until when I was 17, I was cast for the first time in an adult production of a play called Awakened Second. This was a play about a Jewish family in the Bronx, very much like my own Jewish family in Boston. There were 3 generations living in an apartment together, the grandparents, parents, and kids. And in this play, I'm playing the 17-year-old juvenile. I was 17 myself, so I really very strongly identified with the character. And this kid in the play was having the same concerns that I was having. How do you find out who you're supposed to be in the world? How do you find the right job for yourself? How do you go to the right school? How do you find the right girl for yourself? How do you build a life? And this kid was going through these issues, and so was I. And I thought, if I could do this kind of work for the rest of my life, helping people to understand their lives, illuminating lives for people in the audience, I would consider it very important work, and I would consider myself blessed to be able to do that. So I decided to be an actor. And I went home and I said that to my folks, I'm going to be an actor. Well, it didn't go down so great, you know. My parents were immigrants from Russia. My father was a barber, decent guy, stood on his feet and cut hair for maybe 65 or 70 years of his life, and worked hard, very unsophisticated. I said, Dad, I'm going to be an actor. He said, you'll be hanging around with gypsies and vagabonds. I thought, okay, you know. That's the way it has to be. You know? And then he gave me the only advice my dad ever gave me. He was very serious. He said, learn to play the accordion. You can always make a living with an accordion. I didn't take his advice for this shit. The last movie that I saw before I left Los Angeles, I moved to California, the last movie I saw was Shakespeare's Henry V, directed by and starring Laurence Olivier, considered the greatest actor of our generation. Wonderful movie, wonderful movie. And there comes a moment in the movie where Henry is with his troops. They're about to go into battle tomorrow morning. It's the nighttime. Tomorrow morning they're going to fight the French. And they're vastly outnumbered. The French have a lot more soldiers than the English army does. Henry's concerned about the emotional condition of his troops, so he goes out in disguise, to put it like Spock did in Star Trek 3. And he goes out amongst the troops to listen to what they're talking about. And he hears somebody say, I wish we had more men. And he says, what's he that wishes so? My cousin? Westmoreland? Nay, cuz, he says, wish not one man more. If we are marked to die, we are now to do our country loss. But if to live, the fewer men, the greater share of honor. And I got a chill when I heard that. I thought, wow, there's that word again. Then he goes on to say, by Jove, I am not covetous for gold, nor care I who doth feed upon my cost. It yearns me not if men my garments wear, such outward things dwell not in my desire. But if it be a sin to covet honor, I am the most offending soul alive. I took that very seriously. I thought honor is going to be an important thing in my life. I've got to pay attention to that. It means something to me. There's a reason it keeps coming at me like this, and I took that in and held it. So in search of honor, I got on a train, I went to California, to that great citadel of honor known as Hollywood.
Rampage Fitness Academy is located at 23681 Via Linda, Suite A, in Mission Viejo, California, 92691. Call them at 949-830-7267. Cardio kickboxing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, regular boxing, yoga, or women's classes only. Rampage Fitness Academy has it all. Check them out at rampagefitnessacademy.com.